All right, we're back in regular session. It's 9:15. Next item is other business. Anybody got anything they need to bring up?
Yeah, Max, I'd like to bring up just a couple of brief things real fast. I was wanting to ask the board if YIMS would have any problems or how, maybe some advice, how to go about this. But our county is in need of several other things. I mean, what we're doing is a good job. I guess what I'm talking about is like maybe extra credit, but our county is needing sorely some economic development and new tourism opportunities. We've obviously got littering going on throughout the county, in town, out of town. We have illegal dumping going on here and there and yonder, which is costing the county. And also the roads, we have hundreds of miles of roads and ditches and
500.
right, and we have schools, and we have several little kids in the county, and everybody's concerned about keeping them safe. And anyway, I suppose it would be an endeavor that would be quite a bit for this board, and I know it's not probably part of our job per se, but I think it is somewhat of our responsibility to the county of the people here that live here, reside here. We want to try to make it better for everybody. And so I suppose what I want to ask you guys, and for some advice and that, but I am willing, more than willing, and I've already talked to a few people, not a lot, but a few. There's people willing to step up to the plate and form committees, as you may, and to work on these problems for the board, and to give us some direction to go and things to do that we can enhance the lives of everybody in the county. And I'd be more than willing to work on that, to get these boards up and running, these committees, to advise us on different things that we can do for our community. And I think it would be a very nice endeavor to do for everybody, and it would make the whole county a better place to live, and for the future of our kids, because to be honest with you, we have an outflow of people right now. More people are leaving than coming. And if the trajectory stays the same, I'm afraid in 10, 20 years, there won't be much of a county left, unless we do something now to try to turn things. And I know it's a big endeavor, but I'd be willing to help get these different teams, these different committees up and running. And I just need your thoughts on them things.
Well, I can tell you, I'll take anything under consideration, Carol. The way it stands right now, you're not aware of all the committees that we already have, the boards that we have, that we appoint people to. We have a tourism board. It's involved with bed and breakfasts, the wine trail. There's a lot of things already, and all those things you mentioned, everybody here is aware of and working on. So I guess my suggestion to you is we all want all those things you're talking about, and we all, in one way or another, have been working on it. You may not know that, and as far as, you know, I'll just take under advisement your offer as far as naming committees, but the way it stands right now, the way the board operates, I name committees, that's it. We have many boards that we appoint people to all over the county, from levies to water districts to you name it. The trash problem, we're very aware of, working on. The The highway department, we just hired a new highway engineer. We're hoping that, I mean, we're not perfect by any means, but our roads are not as in bad a shape as some people think they are. They're not perfect, no, and there's some hog holes scattered around, I'm aware. But we have responded pretty much to everybody that has called and made a complaint. I will say I know of a couple that didn't get responded to. Hopefully, that's going to change with the new commissioner, road commissioner. But it's a work in progress, I guess is what I'm telling you, and I'm all for everything you said, and everybody said there is. But, and we'll look at it and work with you on things you want to see done. I mean, that's obvious, that's what we're all here for. We may all not agree or may agree to disagree, but that's all I can tell you at this point from what you're saying. I mean, I'm not going to say Darryl, go out and appoint these committees
So,
because.
what you're telling me though, is the things that I just brought up, that there are already committees set up
For some of them, yeah.
by this board for economic development and tourism.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
I would be,
there's Southern 5, there's Southern 7. Commissioner is on each of those boards. They're highly involved in economic development. There's a tourism board that approves us giving money to various organizations in the county to promote tourism. There's a lot going on.
Something to do might be getting all those people talking to each other better.
pardon me?
Maybe those people that are already in those positions.
Yeah, that was my next suggestion,
Yeah.
is that, when you
That way they're
do.
identifying the same problems and.
Right.
I mean, it's
Right.
not perfect.
Right.
It's not perfect.
Gentlemen, I gotta go, and ladies,
Thank
I
you.
gotta go
Thank you.
charge some felonies before I go into court.
Okay.
If you're done with me, I'm gonna.
Good luck.
Thank you, Council.
All right.
So,
You know, we're willing to listen and do anything within reason. But yeah, there's committees, there's boards, like I said, and no disgrace to you, you just aren't aware of it. And a lot of people in the community are not aware of them, I can tell you. They don't have a
a
clue.
lot of them are looking for results.
Well, I am too. but that
They're looking,
I can
they're
tell you-
looking for things.
That doesn't happen overnight, I'm sorry. And
I
that's a
don't-
pipe dream. And I'm just gonna tell you straight up, I've been on the board now for 12 years, I don't know, something like that. 10 years, I'm not sure. But what I said at the beginning of the meeting, back then, changes were starting to be made by the board. Those boards were good boards too. I mean, it was, at one period of time, it was mostly Democrats on the board, another period of time, it was mostly Republicans. Didn't matter. They were good boards, and they all worked for a common cause, and we all got along. And we initiated a lot of things that just now, like I said, are starting to show up, and we're getting payoff for it. She's one of them. That happened a long time ago, that position before her. And that was one of the first things that happened when I came on the board. And it's been a godsend to the county. But I guess I'm just saying, bear with us. I'm glad to listen, discuss anything, but I think you'll see as time goes, get into some things that.
I realize, you know, you do not turn a battleship just by turning the steering wheel. You have to do it incrementally and in steps. And that's my job. For the people of this county, that is my job. It's just like the state pond down there in Jonesboro. There's no sense that being closed and just sitting there the way it is. It ought to be reopened for the community, whether the state does it or some other entity. But those are the kind of things that need to be done to show progress for the people and make this a nice, livable community. And for things for people to do here. And, those are the kind of things that I want to work on.
That's fine, I expect you to, I expect all of us to, and I guess my bottom line answer to you is, no, we're not gonna do committees right now, outside committees. We don't need any more committees as of today. I think the longer you're on here, you'll understand that and see why. There's enough going on, and enough thought process, and people are gonna ask you for certain things, they're gonna ask me for things, they're gonna ask David for things. All those things can't be done.
Right.
And there's a reason usually that they can't, and a lot of the time, the people don't understand.
Well, I guess my next thing would be, is when you reevaluate who to put on what committees, I guess I would ask you to put me on those kind of committees
Oh, I intend to.
where I can,
I intend to.
work for the community.
I promise you I will.
Okay.
We're all in this
I
together.
will take him on that.
No, I expect everybody in this room to do their part. And that involves a lot of work, a lot more meetings that you're not aware of than twice a month here. So, especially when you get on a couple of these committees, so. But no, I assure you I will. I'm not gonna leave you out, so.
I will say this, there were some that were concerned that I wouldn't have the time to do meetings as a county commissioner, but on the contrary, I was actually kind of worried about you guys attending more meetings. That was my concern. So I just hope you guys get a lot of sleep and rest.
Speaking of meetings, December 16th, we're gonna have a special meeting, that's next week at 8:30. That's the deadline on the budget being posted so we can approve it officially. So that's all that meeting will be about, but we do need to vote it in place, so. Everybody good with that?
December, that's next Wednesday?
Yes,
I don't know.
yeah, it's already posted on the website and the board out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the cutoff. However,
I had
days,
seen
14, 15 days, we have to have it posted, that's it, so we need to get it in place and going, so. Anybody got anything else?
We adjourn.
Yes, you can.
I'll say.
Thanks, everybody, appreciate it.
Hold on, Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yeah.
Commissioner Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Harville,
No.
Yes.
and Commissioner Hicks.
Yes.